We are back with another intellectual property battles edition for the latest and greatest Shark Tank episode, season 15, episode 20. I want to hear from you guys on what product do you think is going to have the biggest cultural impact, or in other words, be around for 15 or 20 years, and what product is going to make the most money. They may be the same product, they may be different products, but let me know your thoughts. We're going to start with the pitch Robo Burger, where give you a summary. Let's go to the inventors as they're kind of summarizing what their company is and what their product does, and then come back to me. I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're just going to kind of move meticulously through the four pitches, and at the end, I want to hear from you. So let's start with Robo Burger.
Sharks, I'm Andy Siegel.
I'm Dan Brado.
And I'm Audley Wilson.
We are Robo Burger.
Sharks, we've all been there, searching for hot, delicious food, especially in off hours and remote locations. This is because food service requires huge capital expenditures, long-term leases. And while flipping burgers seems simple, keeping a kitchen staffed is harder than you think.
But what if you didn't have to go through all that? What if we fit the whole thing in a 12 square foot box that only needed electricity to operate?
Sharks, welcome to the future of food.
Robo Burger,
the world's first fully autonomous,
Robotic?
miniature restaurant.
that freshly cooks a hot and delicious hamburger in under 4 minutes. But I know what you're thinking. How good can it really be?
How good? It's flippin' delicious. The Robo Burger provides a restaurant quality experience. The Robo Chef grills the patty, toasts the buns, adds the condiments, and delivers it all piping hot.
But that's just the beginning. Our multi-patented robotic cooking platform requires no special plumbing or venting and can freshly cook anything that's round and ground.
The vending machine brought us beverages more conveniently. The ATM, money on the go. And now Robo Burger brings us hot, fresh, delicious food anytime, anywhere.
Our footprint may be small, but the possibilities are unlimited. We're ready to flip the restaurant industry on its head.
Sharks, we're asking for $1.5 million at
Oh.
5%.
So which one of you hungry sharks
Wants to take a big bite out of Robo Burger?
Now, I thought this one was interesting. Number one, because I've kind of dealt as a almost 10-year intellectual property attorney. I've dealt with draft and patent applications within this space, or in other words, within a fully automated kind of burger space, cooking burgers without any human intervention. So I'm somewhat familiar with it. I have not, and as Mark kind of pointed out during the actual pitch, go check out that pitch on Intellectual Property with David, Investing in Intellectual Property with David, the YouTube channel, which you're watching this video on. I think that with this particular one, man, again, there's probably a lot of products out there that's kind of making food and burgers and things like that fully automated. But however, I do not think I've seen one in a vending machine. And as I talked about on the actual breakdown episode of the particular product, man, when you're talking about going to plants, that's 24 hours, that, again, plants that make airplane parts, automotive parts for different things that we use every day, and they're operating 24 hours. And obviously we know the kitchen is closed, at nighttime, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Man, sticking one of these things in there, it seems like from the pitch that the product is actually pretty good, and it's only taking 4 to 5 minutes to actually make a burger. And I think this thing can do numbers. I think it can really do numbers. Now, I'm glad that they were able to do a deal on this one, and I'll be following kind of their journey. But it seems like they said that they have 4 patents, so they're protecting their IP on it, which is cool. It seems like, again, man, Mark Cuban, he's very skeptical of the product. But look, I've never seen a vending machine for burgers, and I think it's very interesting. The actual product kind of looks a little bit about like the red box that had the DVDs when people used to go get DVDs from like outside of like Walgreens or different storefronts. It kind of reminds me of that thing. But man, I think this can be something. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this going forward. Kind of let me guys know what you think about this particular product. Again, if you haven't, go watch that pitch on the channel, where I kind of go through Robo Burger and kind of let you know my thoughts as a IP attorney, and some of the things that I look for. But no, this was, I thought, was an interesting one. So let's go to the next one, which was dealing with hats, and then come back to me and I kind of give you my feedback.
Hey Sharks, I'm Max Nelson, and I'm the head behind the hats. And I'm here today seeking $500,000 for 5% equity
10
in my
million for
company
some
Hood Hat.
hats.
Hood Hat designs and manufactures the world's finest customizable luxury ball caps. We created a category, luxury headwear, but it's even more than that. We believe that
Ruben
where
has
you're
fanatics.
from and your neighborhood's culture are essential to who you are. So we build custom hats for those people. My hat says Castleton Corners. That's where I grew up, in Staten Island, New York. And this hat takes me back there every time. I never leave it behind. So I designed hats for each of you Sharks to celebrate where you're from and where you grew up. Take a look at that, Mark Cuban. That's Mount Lebanon,
Mount Lebanon.
Pittsburgh, baby.
That's what's up, baby.
Did it in the old school Mavs colors.
Yes,
That's
sir.
merino wool. Barbara Corcoran, nice to see you.
You must have gotten it wrong. I grew up on Park Avenue, not in Edgewater, New Jersey.
Are you positive about that?
No,
I
I'm
heard
not.
Edgewater, New Jersey, baby,
It
and
is
there's nothing
Edgewater, yeah.
wrong with that.
That's great.
Mr. Wonderful. Well, your hat says Mount Royal.
And that is correct. I was born in town of Mount Royal, Montreal, Canada.
That's the word on the streets.
Yeah.
Now, Lori, your
Okay.
hat says near North Side Chicago.
There you go.
Everyone
Thank you.
grew up somewhere.
Yep.
That's Japanese twill.
Gotcha.
We're taking it back to Lafayette Hill, Michael
That's
Rubin.
old school.
Where it all started,
It
man.
all started in Lafayette Hill.
That's velvet with a satin undervisor, chain stitch
I like it. I
embroidery
would have
technique.
preferred Sixers colors than Eagles colors, to be honest. But
We can make that happen. We are made to order, man. We source the finest fabrics we can get our hands on, from corduroy to cashmere to gabardine. Then we empower you to tell the world where you're from through customization. Hood Hat is already going to where the fish are swimming, but we need a shark to help us navigate deeper waters.
Now, this one was interesting, and it seems like at least the trademark term that they have federally registered as a trademark is called Hooch. So it seems like you have a kind of more of a luxury feel, luxury brand for hats that are customizable, that you can rep your hood, or I would imagine put anything on a hat, not just kind of where you're from. And no, obviously, or not obviously, but if you guys watch that breakdown, this guy didn't get a deal. And man, it seems like it's a niche product. And niche products are, as I talked about on the pitch, it's not, or on a breakdown, that's not a bad thing. I've kind of got patents on products that were niche products, and that person still made $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 a year, and he's able to do that for the life of the patent. So niche products can still make you a lot of money. However, again, the product I think was like $90. I know for me personally, I'm definitely not spending $90 on a hat, and the fact that it's a luxury, a luxury material, I guess doesn't help out anymore. I would imagine luxury material for something that I'm actually wearing, like clothing, a suit jacket, maybe a shirt, maybe some pants or jeans or whatever the case may be. I can see that a little more, but I don't necessarily care about a luxury material for a hat. I think Mike Rubin had kind of mentioned that, and obviously he has Fanatics, which I didn't know does 30 to 40. I mean, he has Liz, which does $30 to $40 million a year, which was crazy. But he maybe wasn't a big fan. Other Sharks obviously weren't big fans enough to at least give him a deal on it. But again, I think this is a niche product. The three things that I look for: how simple is, how effective is it, and what's the market like. I do think people will do this. I think if you go check out the website, you have celebrities kind of repping these hats, from Ben Affleck to Jay-Z. So I think it's going to be something. It's something there. It's probably not going to make millions of dollars, but I do think that he can have a niche product and sell $300,000-$400,000 and make $500,000 over the life of, or just a year, to the extent that he wants to continue to do that. Now, this is not something that you get a patent on. Obviously, he has the trademark, and branding is important. And even for people who have patents, that patent expires if it's a design patent after 15 years. If it's a utility patent, it expires after 20 years. So just because you have a patent, that doesn't mean that you're in the clear. I mean, you have some time to kind of be able to figure things out and keep others from doing what you're doing. But to the extent that you want to last forever, you're going to need branding. And the fact that they have Hooch, which I'm interested to see where that came from, because that's seemed to be different from I guess what Rep Your Hood USA or whatever the name was. They are kind of taking steps to protect the brand, which I think would allow them to be just forever. It's a forever thing. Trademarks, they last forever. As long as you're using it, it lasts forever. So to the extent that they want to kind of keep doing this thing and make money, it will last forever. So that's my thoughts on Hooch, or the hat company that makes hats off out of luxury material. Let me guys know your guys' thoughts on it. In the meantime, we are going to move on to the next one, which is Hyped, that make detachable straps for slides. Let's hear them talk a little bit about that, and then come to me and hear my thoughts.
Hey, Sharks, I'm Mark Hertzberger.
And I'm Chang Koo, and we are from the mile-high city of Denver,
There you go.
and we are here to talk about
The Hype Company.
sharks. Have you ever noticed how stale fan gear has become? It's the same old product with just a different sticker for each team. We want more. We want
Like Ruben,
more.
like, hold on,
That's
man,
right.
that's
We want
insult to me,
more than
fanatic.
uninspiring and boring designs out there.
We're in the process of disrupting the footwear industry and changing the way the consumers engage with their footwear choices.
And we started with the OG. And yes, I am talking about the oldest footwear known to humankind, dating back 10,000 years ago. And yes, I am talking about the slide.
Sharks, imagine it's Saturday morning.
Mark is already
You're off
out.
to watch your favorite college football team get the W. Of course, you're rocking your favorite team's slides. But then Sunday morning rolls around. It's time to change out the straps. Maybe you're off to play in your very own over 30 soccer league, or you're heading to watch your kids play some Little League. Either way, change out the straps. You're good to go. Not into
That's actually
sports?
not a bad
No
idea.
problem. You can do any custom design that you want and change your shoes to what you want to hype that day.
And with over 30 plus years between Mark and I in the footwear industry, we're able to bring you a super soft, flexible, long-lasting, durable outsole and a sleek silhouette and infinite design choices.
We're seeking $125,000 for 5% of the Hype Company. There's only one question that remains.
Are you ready to get hyped?
Now, I actually recorded this one right after recording the hat company, and it started off slow. It's like, come on, man, slides, custom. I understand it's customizable, but okay, just to have a slide and then just kind of customize it. It seemed like it started out slow, but then when they said one, it was detachable. Then they also talked about having a patent on it. As an IP attorney, my ears perked up and I started to get more drawn in on it. Now this was I can definitely see myself, and I may actually kind of purchase a pair today over sometime soon, because I can see myself putting my company name on one of the straps and another company name on another strap, or heck, putting kind of my alma mater Michigan State on one strap and putting my NFL team on another strap, so that I can kind of switch out these things. So again, I could definitely see myself as a customer. I'm glad that they were able to get a deal on this one. And it seems like the two gentlemen, they were pretty cool and had a ton of experience. I think they said 30 years experience within the slide industry or the footwear industry. So I would imagine that slide is quality. The fact that they protected their patent. Again, they even have the branding of it protected via trademark. So I'm excited for those guys. And again, I'm glad that they were able to get a deal. It seems like they kind of squeaked it out at the last minute, but nonetheless, they did get a deal. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on Hype and on whether or not you think it's, again, going to be around or is going to make a ton of money. Seems like they were a little bit everywhere with their scheme, which I think maybe Mark and some of the other Sharks didn't like, because they were licensing the product. It seems like the NCAA and other companies, but also it seems like they were kind of big on just selling the slides. I think maybe Barbara did the deal with this one, and she wanted to she seemed like she understood it. With we know Barbara, she only does deals to kind of companies that she understands. And I think she can help out this company, which I mean, it is good for them. But I think if they kind of focus in and just kind of just sell the slide, I think they're going to be much better off. And I think they are, they stand to make a ton of money, because I think this whole customizable aspect of it, not just customizing it with a brand name or your favorite team, but you can put faces on this thing, which I think is going to really be something that people, especially with the slides, the straps, the detachable straps, I can see them ordering a ton of these things. So again, kudos to them for a deal, and I think they're definitely going to be around. So it seems like every year they save, or every episode they save the best for last. Now, this is, I would say, is the best pitch for a number of reasons, but let's check out the product on the K3 strap band for hoopers, and then let's come back. And
Hi, Sharks. My name is Nikki Young. I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens. I'm currently seeking $100,000 in exchange for 20% of my company, Sharks.
I think that's
When I was on
reasonable.
scholarship for basketball, I was feeling untouchable, but I was lacking one thing.
Half a
My
million.
jump shot was flat. And let me tell you, being a freshman with a weak jump shot was embarrassing. So I did what we all do. Search for a solution to give me that competitive edge. But I realized there was nothing on the market, and I could not keep letting this happen. Terrible. That's when I decided to create a simple yet effective
Mike
tool
Rubin
to
is
give me
gonna
that
get him one.
competitive edge with K3 Shooting Band. K3 Shooting Band is the one and only resistant shooting band for your shooting fingers while shooting a basketball. It goes on your pointer and your middle finger, and it adjusts on your wrist. It helps the player shoot with proper rotation, increasing their chances of making the ball go in the hoop. K3 is a game changer, literally, no pun intended. I've worked very hard to get here, and I never gave up. But I need your help to take K3 to new heights. Now, Sharks, which one of you is ready to come shoot your shot and get with the winning team, the K3 team?
Okay.
Now, man, her story was amazing. And again, obviously you see what it does. Again, Mark, he tried it on and his jumper was broke. But her backstory was amazing. She literally applied 19 times to Shark Tank. Now, I'm not sure at what point do you decide to give up or this is not going to work out, but I would imagine that it's a lot sooner than 19. It might be 5, maybe 10, heck, maybe 15 if you have some type of resilience or persistence, but 19 times and to eventually break through the door, and not only break through the door, to be able to get a deal. Again, her backstory, she worked 3 jobs, she said. Man, you have to go check out that breakdown because this was a good breakdown, and I thought, again, they saved the best for last, especially as it relates to her story. She worked 3 jobs just to get a patent. I talked about a lot of time business owner who actually makes money. They $4,000 or $5,000 want to kind of shortchange me as a patent attorney. They want me to do a good job of drafting their patent, but they want to essentially pay nothing for that, which again, you're going to get what you pay for. You see a lot of times, and I interview a lot of people, a lot of business owners, some who've been on Shark Tank, others who have started the company, and a lot of things that you hear, a common theme is, man, we maybe try to take the cheap way out early on with our patent attorney. And man, we paid for whether or not the patent attorney wasn't communicating. They did a bad patent. They it's one reason or another why those early patents for companies don't turn out to be good patents that have a lot of teeth, patents that can get products taken down. And it's in part because I don't want to say the attorney, because I don't want to rat out an attorney. We all stick together, but because the patent wasn't done right. I would imagine that that was due in part to the fee and to the just trying to save pennies or whatever the case may be. So again, the fact that she worked 3 jobs just to get a patent was like, man, okay, she's serious. And then, like I said, applied 19 times and wanted to take care of her family. Again, you have to go check out the episode. But Mike Rubin, he did it, and even Lori, because she ended up doing a deal with both Mike Rubin and Lori, which I thought it was a little high in terms of the 100,000 for what she ended up coming down to 40%. But I love what Mike Rubin is going to do with the equity in terms, or at least his portion of the equity in terms of giving it to trainers and NBA players so that will have a vested interest in some equity in the company to plaster it out and to get it out. Because I do think that this is a product that you need to actually see on social media, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, whether it's TikTok. You need to see, and you need to hear the athlete or the trainer kind of describe what's going on, the importance of it. And I think people are going to eat it up as a result of that. This is not something that, I guess you could go to retail, Walmart, whatever the case may be, and put it on the shelves. But without the demonstration, without the explanation of what the product does and the importance of it, how to use it, I think it's going to go to by the wayside. And that's not going to be the better thing. I think the direct consumer, as they talked about, is the bigger play with this one. And I'm glad that she was able to get a deal with them. Now, again, Mike Rubin, he even said it, and this how, man, you have to just be a go-getter. A lot of times we want to make easy money or try to take the easy way out. Clearly, she did everything besides take the easy way out. And it paid dividends not only by getting the deal, but as Mike Rubin said, he didn't even he not only didn't love the product, he didn't even like the product, but he liked her. He loved her. He believed in her as an entrepreneur, as somebody who was going to do everything they can to succeed. And I talked about it on the breakdown. You guys have to go check that out. That a lot of times when people invest in you, they are so much not investing in a business as they are investing in you as a person. I actually had a guy that I invested in, and man, he was doing something with a company that I just didn't believe in the company, but I believed in him as a person. And his, I guess, go-getter attitude, and that's why I gave him money. It wasn't because I believed in the product so bad. It was like, no, man, this guy's a go-getter. I know his story. I know the things that he's done. I know his tenacity to be able to kind of continue to push forward, and that convinced me to be able to invest in him, even though I didn't like that particular product or business that he was doing. So, again, a lot of times when people invest in you, they're investing in you as a person, not so much the business or the product. So let that be a learned lesson, and make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to be successful as an entrepreneur. So what do you guys think? Which one do you think is going to be around over next 15 and 20 years and have a bigger cultural impact? And then which one do you think is going to make the most money? Now, I think it's an interesting one. I think K3 Strap Band, the one I just talked about, I think based on her partners with Mike Rubin and Lori and the expertise that they bring and what Mike Rubin is going to do as far as giving equity to the NBA players to be able to plaster this out, I think that's going to give her a big boost in sales, at least initially. But I'm not sure if that's going to carry her to, and she still can make a lot of money in terms of $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 as maybe a small company, as a mid-sized company. But I don't think maybe long-term that's going to make her a ton of money, nor do I think it's probably going to be around forever. But that's cool because you can still make other products, and as entrepreneurs, you're most likely going to make other products and you can benefit from that. So I'm not worried about her with that. I think she's going to get a big boost, or, kind of this initial shot of cortisone or whatever you want to call it, to kind of make money in the short term and it be relevant in the short term. But I think long term, I think she's not going to make as much money. And it's probably not going to be around forever. I actually like, between the Robo Burgers and the collections, but I probably like the not the collections, not the hat situation, but the hype with the detachable strap, the slice with the detachable strap. I think Barbara, she probably did the right deal. I think this is, if they can kind of focus on the business of selling the slides and being able to market and advertise that, but I think this not only stands the chance to make a lot of money going forward, but I think 15, 20 years from now, I think people will still be, especially if they have a patent, as he said, on the a slide having a detachable strap. If it's kind of that broad and have that much meat and teeth with the patent, I think they're going to make not only a lot of money going forward, or at least for the duration of the patent, but I think from a cultural standpoint, you're going to see this a lot more often as people want to, okay, if I can buy one slides and rep my company, rep my favorite NFL team, rep my favorite college team, heck, rep my sons or daughters' high school team or club team, that saves you so much more money as opposed to having to buy individual slides for each use. So I think from a cultural standpoint, you're going to see a lot of those. I actually like the Robo Burger Company. Man, I just think that a lot needs to go right for that one to really hit with the masses. And I think just the model has to be really buttoned up. They were able to get a deal, but again, they're going to have to really button up their model to be able to sell a lot of these things. And I'm just not sure on that one. But I think with the slide with the detachable strap, I think that one has a chance to do numbers. So kind of that's my take on it. So I think, again, for this week, season 15, episode 20, I think the slides or hype is going to make the most money going forward, as well as they're going to be around, for the next 15, 20 years, at least the life of the patent. And this goes to show you how important a patent is, because if they didn't get that patent, I thought this would have been, okay, it's cool, but how can you stop others from doing it? Because we all know once stuff starts selling, then you get copycatters, you get infringers. And to the extent that you can't do anything from people who copycat you, that's the beginning of the end for your business. But the fact that they have a patent and they can kind of build up their brand recognition and what they have going on for those, for the life of the patent, I think that kind of put them into another stratosphere for me as it relates to, okay, I think they're going to make a lot of money and I think they're going to be around. So this goes to show you how important the IP is, how important the patent is. And yeah, for sure. So that's kind of my I guess guess or opinion on things. I would love to know in the comment section. Please leave which company do you think is going to make the most money? Which company do you think is going to be around over the next 15 to 20 years? At some point, I want to start doing these things live to kind of get your guys' feedback in real time. But for now, we're doing these pre-recorded videos on it. So until next time, until next week, you guys take care.